Hey guys, so if you want to subscribe to my podcast, if you want to follow my Instagram and see my Amazon storefront, I will leave that all links down below. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. So for today's video, we are going to talk about my first time period. My first time ever getting it. So if you do not like blood, you can skip out. I completely understand. No worries. You can come back to my other videos or come back the next week. So for this, I was 10. Now, I was like recently pulled out of 4th grade. So this was April. I was towards the end of April. Yeah, it was towards the end of April. I'd probably been home for probably like almost like a month or so, maybe like 3 weeks tops, or like a month. So my mom and I pulled myself like out of like elementary school. So I was not expecting to get my period. Thank goodness. I was probably like homeschooled like at that time, but I still want to know what would have happened. Like obviously I knew about periods, but like I didn't know like a shit ton about it because I was just like getting into learning about it because I was watching Glee in 2013, like on Christmas break. I think it was Christmas break and Thanksgiving break is when I started like watching it. Around that time, like November, December, January time, I was watching it. Like I was freaking obsessed with that show. Like oh my gosh, loved that show. It was. I probably shouldn't have been watching it at that age because I was so freaking young. No one knew that I was watching. But eventually I did. So one of the things that mentioned in one of the episodes is period. So when I heard period, I was thinking, well, obviously it's the punctuation and it's the school period, you know, like first period, second period, third period, and so on forth. So when I asked my mom about it, I was like, what's a period? She was like, I think she was saying, like, how did you learn that? Or, like, also, we'll just talk about it, like, a different time. Because at that point, I didn't like, I knew about, like, breasts and, you know, pubic hair and stuff. And, like, obviously, like, I knew how babies were made. But, like, I really didn't get the, like, concept. Like, I understood how, like, you know, the egg and the sperm meet, and that's how you create a baby and stuff like that. So I obviously knew that was a thing, but, like, my head wasn't comprehending that, and I did not learn about periods. Just because, like, you wouldn't think, like, a 10-year-old would, like, get a period, but, hey, maybe. Some people are getting it, like, 9, maybe even younger, I don't know. But I just know for me, I was very early for me. Sorry, I gotta, oh, sorry. I'm gonna take a sip. Oh, that feels nice and good. Just want to say one thing. I love Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is so good. So bad for you, but so good. I wish there were a sponsor. Like one day I want to be sponsored by Dr. Pepper. I love it. I'm just sorry. I just got on like a little tiny rant, but like I'm obsessed. So I was 10 years old, almost 11. I like was freshly learned about periods and stuff. So like I knew a lot. Like I knew some of it, but like again, it just like wasn't grasping my brain because I was so young. Like you know, and I asked. So like I was like. Ugh. So I eventually got it. I think it was like on a Monday or like a Friday. No, it was on a Friday. It was on a Friday in April. I think it was like maybe April 28th, 29th, 27th. I don't know. If you just decide to look like in 2014 April of that year, you can find it like on like I think it was like the last week of April or the second to last week of April. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I don't know. Anyways, that really doesn't matter at all. I just wanted to be kind of like, oh, like it's a little detail. Anyways, so I was awake in the morning. My mom, my sister and my other sister were like gone, and it was just me, my brother, and my oldest sister. So she was babysitting, obviously. So then I had to like go to the bathroom as you normally do. So when I went in the bathroom and I saw blood, so I was like, I knew it was like a period, but like I didn't think I was dying. I was just like, I was shocked, and it just happened. I was like, oh no, it's like I was not prepared for this. I'm too young. Like I need my mom. Like my mom's not there, so I called my mom in the bathroom because I brought my phone in there. Obviously, I was like, hey mom, so I'm bleeding down there. Well, I said like, hey mom, I'm bleeding. She's like, where? I'm like, down there. I think I said, or like, in my, butt or whatever, something like that. So obviously she knew it was a period. So I'm assuming, texted or called my sister who was home babysitting us, and she said, hey teacher, about this. So she called me and I went upstairs and she said, this is how you use a pad. And so it's like, got it. So like that. Let me tell you, that and my second cycle was the only time I think I've ever had like a normal cycle where like it came like I think like every 28 days or like every 30 days or whatever. Like it came regularly, and after that it did not. Let me tell you, it was like a pain in the butt. So for those 2 months, probably like maybe like 3 months, I would get cramps. It wasn't that bad, but the first time I got my period, it was painful. I have a very low pain tolerance, so for me it was probably like a 6 because I'm afraid of like needles, shots, like that's how bad. Like a finger prick, like I'm saying, like that is like, I think that's like, so painful. Like I cry, So I have a really, really low pain tolerance compared to like other people. So I would say that was like a 6 for me. Maybe for other people it's like lower on the podium, or maybe it's like higher on the scale, whatever. Oh, my hair. Don't you hate it like when you wear these like glasses or any kind of glasses and your baby hairs get stuck inside like this part? Another rant, but it's so freaking annoying. So I had my period, it was fine, the next month it came, and then I had my surgery in 2014 August, where my life went to shit. So ever since then, I actually ended up getting my period, like, I think, like, during my surgery, or, like, the night before my surgery, or, like, the day of my surgery, like, when I went into the hospital. So I was like, oh, shoot. And I had to pee in a cup, which was so annoying. Let me tell you, I hate peeing in a cup. It's the worst, It's like, it's not easy. You can't just, like, shoot it inside. You kind of have to, like, push it up and, like, get it. And then you spill pee on all over yourself, which is fine. But then, you, like, I don't know, it feels gross, even though it's, like, your own body. Like, I don't know. That's the worst thing I hate about being a woman, among other things. So I did that, As time goes on, my periods never got regular, and they always say like it takes probably like a few years for it to like regulate. And I'm here, 19 years old, almost 20, still nothing. Like it's not regular. Sometimes it is, although like for me, I can't track my periods like at all. I've tried using that like period tracker. It was like way off, like so way off. Although it does say to like put a lot of information, but like I did, and it was like kind of not helpful because like it was like, are you sexually active, like other that stuff. So I was like, no. So that kind of like added, something to help figure out like when my next period was going to land. And almost every single time was like always like a week before or a week later. So it wasn't even like, a few days before and after. It was like, it was not. I was like, oh, dang it. So I just finally deleted. Oh, it was called Clue. Clue was the app, period app. I like that. It was very simple. But it just didn't work for me because my periods are so hard to track. Like even today, I cannot track them. Like it got to the point where like I had so much going to get TMI besides blood is I have so much discharge where like every single day I would have to like change my underwear, but like it was like, oh, I had to change my underwear like twice or like 3 times, or even like sometimes it was like 4 times. It was that bad because it was just like so much. And it was like, sure, like, you know, it's normal, but it's like, is it normal for you to like need to like change your underwear like basically every time you wanna pee, or like I don't know. It's just like, it was so annoying. I was like, ugh. So I was too young to like go on birth control, but I did when over the summer of that, I think like in June before my 11th birthday, I was like on somewhat like birth control or something. I don't know exactly what I was on, but I was on something since I had my period so young. It was kind of like to stop my periods because I was so young, but I had breakthrough bleeding, you know, which is normal. I was just so annoyed about it, you know. It didn't really do anything like hormonally, like emotion-wise, because I don't think I was like on it. I think I maybe was on it for like a month, maybe like 2 weeks or so. I don't know. But I know, yeah, I think it was a month because I hit the little like placebo pills where you're supposed to take if you want to, so that you can know like, okay, I've done this entire month, next packet type of thing. So because of that, I was just like, alright, so I stopped like that. Didn't end up taking like birth control until I was probably like 18. I was like, yeah, last year I was 18 years old, so I was I was almost 19, so a long time from 10 to 18, so it was probably like close to about like 8 years or so long time. Sorry, I'm so tired and I'm kind of like forgetting how to do this YouTube stuff. It's been quite a while since I've filmed a video, was sat down here obviously. So because of that, I'm like, ooh, what am I doing next? After that, honestly, it was like fine, I guess. The annoying thing was the discharge, the missing periods, and sometimes I think 2016 or 17, around that time frame, I ended up missing my period for about like 2.5 months, maybe like 3 months. Like, it was a long time. Obviously, you may be thinking, am I pregnant? No, like, no. I was sick at that time, and I couldn't drive, so like, obviously I had siblings who could drive, but like, how would I meet someone? I had no friends, so I was kind of like a giant, lonely, depressed person as I am today. So, obviously that could never happen, but I was freaked out. And you maybe think, well, like, it's the best thing ever, like, no periods, yay. Which was fine for me. I was just like freaking out because like I couldn't understand what was wrong with me. It wasn't like, oh, like I'm pregnant or something. I was like really freaking out. But although I shouldn't have been freaking out, I kind of regret freaking out about that. I should have just been like, yay. Looking back at it, I was like, and like, you should have been more grateful because periods suck. I don't get like really super painful like at all anymore, but they suck. They're just annoying because you have to pee so much, and then like blood, and it's like I use pads. So it got to a point with the discharge, I was wearing a pad, I think for like a year or 2 years straight, like every single day I would wear a pad just because of the discharge, and I didn't want to like change my underwear out so much because I would do that and it was like I have no underwear, so it's like and so I decided to do that, and also to track my period, so whenever it fell, I was like, there we go, it's my period. Because now, still today, it's kind of hard to figure out like, when I'm on my period. Right now, I'm on my period as I'm filming this video for February, and it's like, I still don't know when it's gonna come, like, at all. I don't wear pads anymore, but when I'm on my period, I do. I've tried tampons. They were fine. Maybe, like, it's just me because I was, like, a normal flow, kind of, like, barely there flow, where I would stick it up, and it was, like, so dry. It was painful. And at first, like, you gotta take some time, and it was, like, I got it, but then it's, like, it wasn't blood there, and was like, I don't know, so it's just like felt super uncomfortable. So I was like, am I pushing it too far in? Am I pushing it not in? So like, so yeah, I just gave up on tampons. They're comfortable-ish, just not meant for me, you know. I stick to pads because it's easier, and for me now, my periods come, for the longest time, it was like, I would see my period, I would see blood, but then it would like, I would bleed one day, and then like, stop immediately, and then like, maybe like bleed the next day, and then completely be done bleeding, or I would be like, there's little blood and I can tell I'm on my period and I can feel it down there, but there's like no blood at all. It's like literally every time I wipe on the pad or whatever, there's like no blood. So it's like, you would think, am I actually on my period? But I was, because I could feel it down there, so that's why. And let me tell you, it was the worst. It was just so hard trying to figure out when it was gonna fall, and obviously at that age still, I really don't need to track it. It was just more annoying because like if I wanted to like, if I was in bed and I leaked on my bed sheets, it's so annoying. And it got to the point like when I was taking birth control, like I was bleeding so bad, like in heavy, like for like a month and a half or so, and it's like I would bleed on my sheets badly, and my mom got sick and tired of washing them, so she's just take a towel down there, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So yeah, I'll do another video on like my birth control experience. I've only taken 2, so I've never got the implant or the IUD. I just had pills. So that's the next video you guys will see after this one. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.